I think you better go out. I'm going to pass it briefly. You
Well-
need to go out and check your client.
Oh, no, Judge.
No, go out and check your client.
I will, Judge.
Patrick Tatura versus Martin Youngs.
Do you need to see?
No, he won't be staying long.
I hope that's the case, Judge.
Me too.
Good morning, Your Honor. May it please the court, Eric Wadavsky, 65354 on behalf of plaintiffs.
Good morning, Darwin Fair, defendant P number 31266.
The plaintiff filed a motion to lift the stay and enter an order of eviction. At the time, I had not received a response, but I thought I wasn't sure where other proceedings were. I realized what was represented in the motion. And so I set this for hearing. So.
Well, Judge, I'd hope we would not be here today. We've been down this road a number of times. And your question is always the same question, and the answer is always the same answer, which is the Wayne County Circuit Court has not closed the file. There's still pending actions in front of the Wayne County Circuit Court that impact on the issue that's before this court. So unless we're here to argue the Wayne County Circuit Court motion, I don't know what more to say to the judge. There's really nothing more to say.
This property is located in Washtenaw County, however.
Where's the?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
the property is in Washtenaw, so I'm not clear why I'm worried about anything being litigated in Wayne County.
Well, what happened?
Let me rephrase that. I don't know why I would be worried about that with reference to this action proceeding forth in the eviction happening.
Well, the reason, Judge, is for the same reasons that occurred multiple times before this court, which is the property in Washtenaw County is subject to a settlement agreement that was entered into with the Wayne County Circuit Court judge. So this is part and parcel of this global settlement. And the reality of it is that this case on this property is still subject to the jurisdiction of the Wayne County Circuit Court judge, as has been the case every time we get before this court. As every time we get before this court, it's the same issue, Judge. And now this is, I will admit, this is the first time I've heard the court say this, but the reality is still the reality. This property is part of, and Judge, I know you.
Welcome back to my channel, where every gavel strike tells a story. Today's case pits Patrick Tura against Martian, a legal tug-of-war spanning multiple counties and endless appeals. Emotions are running high, the judge is clearly fed up, and one lawyer's patience is about to snap. Stick around, because this courtroom showdown has everything: confusion, confrontation, and a shocking twist when the judge finally loses it.
You know, I know you do not want me to repeat myself, and I don't like to repeat myself, but I'm a little concerned that if this is not being gotten across, is every time we get to come to court, it's because of the same issue of this global settlement that is before the Wayne County Circuit Court judge.
Oh, no. Before I would, right. I mean, the reason the case is here is for whatever its reasons. But part of the reason that things were stayed is because clearly it was headed up the chain, the appellate chain. My understanding is that's no longer the case.
No. And let me
know that.
No, that's not the case. And so let me explain it this way, Judge, because I'm trying to get into your head. What the court, I think, is concerned about is the Washtenaw County Circuit Court case that directly impact this case. And that case, the Washtenaw County Circuit Court case, which was appealed to the Michigan Court of Appeals.
Right.
Okay, that case was
Right here, you can feel the tension rising. The judge is visibly frustrated. She's not buying the argument about jurisdiction. The lawyer's trying to justify why this case should still be tied to Wayne County. But the judge's tone says it all. She wants answers, not excuses. It's a classic clash between legal technicalities and judicial impatience. What do you think? Is the defense overcomplicating things or protecting their client's rights?
dismissed, Judge, as a result of a global settlement that is before the Wayne County Circuit Court judge. So what happens in this case is still being handled by the Wayne County Circuit Court judge because the Washtenaw County case, which was appealed to the Michigan Court of Appeals, was voluntarily dismissed as a result of the settlement.
Let me cut to the chase. Why wouldn't I just lift my stay, issue the order of eviction, allow it to be executed at some future time, that they couldn't do it right away? Allow it to be executed at some future time. And if you're correct, then get a stay from Wayne County.
Okay, well, Judge, okay, now, and I'm hearing you, and I'll walk down that road with you. So the issue of the quote unquote eviction is a function of the ownership of the subject.
And there it is. The lawyer starts spiraling. Notice how his tone shifts from calm explanation to almost pleading. This happens when attorneys feel the judge has already made up their mind. He's caught in a loop, repeating the same defense, trying to convince a court that's clearly done hearing it. This kind of moment defines real courtroom drama. The loss of control, the panic, and the realization that the argument isn't landing.
Property. The ownership of the subject property is specifically before the Wayne County Circuit Court judge. So let's assume that the court says, okay, I mean, enough's enough, although it's the same issue that has been before this court multiple times, and the court says the same thing multiple times, which is, I'm not going to do anything until the Wayne County Circuit Court has made a decision, which is what, okay.
I don't know that I said anything about Wayne County.
No,
I think I said something about Washtenaw County and the Court of Appeals and the Supreme Court.
no.
Go ahead.
No. It's never about the Washtenaw County. It's always about Wayne County. It's always about Wayne County. It's never about Washtenaw County, because Washtenaw County, Judge, again, was appealed to the Michigan Court of Appeals. It was voluntarily dismissed as a result of the global settlement that was before Wayne County Circuit Court Judge.
And Mr. Fair, I'm saying, let's assume for this.
This is the courtroom equivalent of a power move. The judge finally draws a line. Enough talking, enough repeating. When she says you're going to have to leave, that's not just an emotional moment. It's a disciplinary signal. In court, losing composure can cost credibility fast. Judges have the authority to end arguments once they see repetition or disrespect. This outburst isn't just dramatic. It's a reminder that courtroom patience has limits.
Sake of argument that you're correct. I have a feeling there's going to be disagreement as to what you're saying in part. But why then wouldn't I just grant the relief, issue the order, and then you get a stay of that and allow an opportunity, so I wouldn't have it where it could be executed immediately, give you an opportunity to then get before the Wayne County Circuit Court, which you're saying this property is part of some global settlement, and allow that court to basically stay any order of eviction or enjoin the plaintiffs in this case from moving forward.
Okay, Judge, allow me to walk down that road. Okay, so
why is that a hard question? I don't need to be walked down the road. Why is that a difficult question to answer?
because the hearing, no. Because the hearing that you're making reference to, that I should go before the Wayne County Circuit Court judge and ask for a stay, is a hearing that is essentially scheduled for July the 18th. That hearing will address the very point this court is making. So what?
Then why don't I grant the relief, indicate that the writ cannot be executed until, if your hearing's on the 28th of July,
No, 18th. I'm sorry.
that it can't be executed until the 28th of July, giving the 10-day statutory period from the time of that hearing.
Okay, Judge, this is the road we always walk down, because
Let's break down the legal side for a second. The judge is basically offering a conditional eviction order. It won't be executed immediately, giving time for a stay or higher court intervention. This is actually fair judicial balance, protecting both sides while keeping the process moving. For anyone watching who's ever faced an eviction case, this is a textbook example of how jurisdictional overlap can stall justice for months.
because what happens is, on the 18th, we don't know what Judge Ewell will do. Judge Ewell may say, I'm not going to hear it on the 18th. Or, and Judge, I'm only going by what's happened in the past, and it's safe.
Sorry, raising questions.
You're gonna have to leave. You're gonna have to leave.
I do not want to argue, Judge.
Go
Pete
ahead.
Davis' case. So what has happened in the past, which is probably what's going to happen today, is that on the 18th, Judge Ewell will do one of two things, which has happened in the past. When this issue is before this court, Judge Ewell may or may not hear the case on the 18th, or may hear the case on the 18th and then decide not to make a decision until sometime in the future. Now, again, Judge, I'm not saying this for the first time. This has been the history of this case. Now, if we look at what happened, they filed a motion to go before the Wayne County Circuit Court judge, and it was scheduled for the following Friday. At the same time, they filed this motion in front of you and filed a motion in front of the 35th District Court, assuming that the Wayne County Circuit Court judge would close the file. Because I will tell you, Judge, the question that you always ask, this is the question you always ask: what's the status of the Wayne County Circuit Court case? Is it open or is it closed? The answer is always the same. It's open. Your response is always the same. Well, I'm not going to do anything until the Wayne County Circuit Court makes a decision. And then a couple of times, Judge, you said, I'm going to adjourn it to right after when the circuit court judge makes a decision.
So why don't I put an end to?
And there you have it, a heated courtroom session where jurisdiction confusion turned into pure chaos. The defense fought hard to delay eviction under a complex settlement, but the judge's patience finally hit its breaking point. This case shows how even minor procedural conflicts can spiral into emotional showdowns. So what do you think? Was the judge too harsh or just doing her job? Let us know in the comments. And if you found this breakdown as gripping as we did, hit that like button, share the video, and subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom moments from Courtroom Chronicles.
That and just grant their relief.
Well, because
it doesn't leave you, Mr. Fair, without remedy, because you can always ask the Wayne County Circuit Court, as I've said, to either stay that writ if they've taken some jurisdiction over this property, or to enjoin the defendants from proceeding on the writ that I would issue.
Well, Judge, this is a conversation we've had at nauseam all the time. And
well, I'm trying to end it.
And what I think but I think, Judge, what you recognize is, well, that means I've got to run to the Wayne County Circuit, Wayne County Circuit Court, ask for a stay. The judge is going to say, aren't we going to be hearing this on the 18th? And then on the 18th, like what has happened in the past.
Well, hold
He
on a
said-
second. No, you wouldn't have to do that if you would listen to what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I could grant the plaintiff's relief. They could not do anything, and I'm not even saying on the 18th. I'm saying for a 10-day period after that hearing. So if the judge at that point in Wayne County doesn't do anything, the 10-day statute